Hello and welcome to another new Let's Play, or this is rather an experiment of MaizePlus mod. So we are in a beautiful map called Fichthal, which is based in Bavaria, and it was made by Lucas G. But more importantly, we are going to test two mods, which I am very intrigued by, and this one is MaizePlus. The icon should appear on the screen right now, and the other is uh, MaizePlus Animal Food Editions. So MaizePlus basically extends your silage options, because in the base game you have two options of silage. You can make grass silage and you can make corn silage, but in the end they are basically the same and they behave in the same way. In this mod, MaizePlus, you can actually make grass silage, and you can make maize silage, that is from corn, which basically is a different type of harvest. In the end, it's also a different ingredient in your mixer wagon. I think I will be able to show you what I mean by this. But you have to be careful when feeding your animals, because you have to have more types. Okay, it's not showing because it's probably not showing because it's not linked up to a tractor. Okay, so let me get a tractor just to show you what I mean. But you can use the base game setting for your animal feed for TMR, or you can set up different settings. So one is for dairy cows, one is for beef cows. There is a realistic one, and you have a whole plethora of things you can put into the mix in order to make your TMR valid. So to make a good TMR. In the end, as I have read, all different mixes are purely for gameplay reason, and they do not affect. Yeah, okay, now we have it. They do not affect your animal growth type or the amount of milk, manure, and slurry they produce. So this is one mix. It's you can see the recipe at the bottom says dairy cattle, and in order to make a successful mix, you have a minimum amount and maximum amount of stuff you can put in. If you look at the bottom, you have two ingredients. It's hay and it's silage. So hay has to be at least 20% of the mix, and silage has to be at least 25% of the mix. And maximum you can have 50% of hay or 75% of silage, but you can also give them mineral feed. And on the right you have possible inputs. At this point I must excuse myself because I am catching a cold of some sort, so I may do some interruptions in the video, just to give you a heads up. And my voice sounds a little bit different, and my nose is stuffed, so I'm sorry for this, but I really can't do anything about it. Okay, so to continue, you have possible inputs on the right. So for hay, we can put in hay or hay pellets. For silage, we can put in grass silage or maize silage, so either or. Yeah, we can put in both or one of the. You have Deutz mineral feed. Deutz is a brand that comes with the mod. So if we go to this, and we can scroll a little bit to the right. No, it's not here. It's probably in the big bags. Yeah, and you have here Deutz chicken food, beet pellets, grain grist, horse food, mineral feed, pig food, concentrate feed, sheep feed, hay pellets. And I think there's even more in this category. Yeah, the pellets. Let me just find it. Yeah, so this is the MaizePlus mod. You have chicken food. You can buy one bag, or you can buy a whole pallet of bags. So that is a great thing because you can make your doses right. You don't need to have a whole lot of stock of something you won't actually need. So you have beet pellets, grain grist, horse food, mineral feed. The mineral feed, for example, behaves exactly the same as the base game mineral feed. Exactly as the same as this. Yeah, and you have a whole lot of other things. You have carrot pellets because horses and other animals actually use carrots. You have potatoes, you have parsnip, you have red beet, molasses, water, filtered water, and luprosil. This is for making grain grist, I believe. Uh, yeah, and you can put in brewer's grain grist. You can put in water, so up to maximum 5%, and molasses maximum 5%. And if you go into tractor, you can actually change your recipe by pressing Z on PC. So this is TMR for pig food. So you can mix pig food in the TMR mixer. You can have standard recipe. This is the base game one, which is if you go out, you actually are allowed to use different stuff in it. So the difference is the silage is a whole crop silage. This is a whole nother type of silage you can make from wheat, barley, and oats, I think. I think these are the products, and you actually mow them at the last before ripe stage, and you can collect it with a forage wagon, or you can chop it up with a forage harvester. So you can do both, and then you put it into a bunker silo and compact it and make silage just the same as you would do with the regular silage you're used from the base game. Okay, and you have realistic mixture. If we go out, you can see the realistic mixture takes at least 10% grass silage, 10% maize silage, and then you have a whole lot of other things you can put in to actually make that silage. So if you want to, you can use only the bottom two, and then 10% you have to do something else. You have to fill it with peat pellets, for example, or with CCM, or with straw, for example. So you have a lot of options how you want to do this. You can, for gameplay sake, change your recipe every few feedings, for example, just to give your cattle the amount they need and different feeding types. So yeah, this is realistic, and you have one for beef cattle. This again is different. It's very similar um, to dairy cattle, but it's still different. And then we are young stock. So this is for your young animals. If you have calves you want to grow up, you can use this mix type, which is 10% straw, at least 10%, 15 silage and 25 hay. So the difference is they use more hay than silage. And then we are back at dairy cattle. So we are gonna use dairy cattle recipe because we do actually have dairy cows. And yeah, I have given myself a helping start. So I have filled up their whole feed trough with food because the cows in mod, if you run the mod animal food additions that comes as an addition to MaizePlus, the cows actually eat 10 times more than they do in the base game. So for this reason, it's recommended to play on at least 3-day month, which I have also set up. I'm not sure where yeah, that's days per month. It's 3 days. So you have more time to feed because the feeding amount is set per month. And if you if you would have it in 1 month and one cow would eat, for example, I don't know, 50,000 liters of PMR. Uh, if you have that in, for example, 5-day month, the same cow would eat 10,000 liters per day. So it's actually manageable with at least 3 days. So these are all the things that I've read, and now I have to put it into action. Uh, to show you what we have on the map, so this is our starting farm, and we own quite a lot of fields. This one is grassland here, this one is grassland, this one is arable, this one is arable, I think, and we also have one grassland over here. And there is a bunker over here, and there is a small grass patch over here. So this is our starting area. The map is huge. It's very detailed, so it's gonna be a lovely thing to play it, but yeah, this is our starting farm. The starting equipment, because we are based in Bavaria, I have set up mostly Fendt and Deutz-Fahrs for our... Let me hop out over here. For our machines, we are mostly equipped with everything we need, so there may be some things we need to buy still, so I have left myself with 100,000 pounds or euros. But yeah, we have Deutz-Fahr over here. We have an old Deutz-Fahr just for the fun, and we have the Fendt that we use to couple on the TMR mixer, and we have this Fendt for the big tractor, which actually supports... Can I click it? I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe I forgot the button. Yeah, we have IC control, so we can actually open and close doors on tractors, which is a fun thing, you know. And I am going to try to play as realistic as I can. So I don't promise you the total realism, but I will do my best. And I think we'll have a lot of fun. This is the shed that has our grassland equipment. I believe we're gonna use that a lot. Our slurry spreader, there are some machines and things in here. There is a beet cutter shovel over there, because we may use that for feed creation, for TMR creating. And we have a little Massey Ferguson skid steer that's gonna be used to move around bales, and we can drop them over here into the feeding trough. So yeah, that is all fine and dandy. Okay, well, this was a more in-depth introduction than I was planning to do. But let's dig in. I will set the time on 3 minutes per minute, and of course saving. Oh yeah, there is one other difference. You may notice... Where can I see that? Plowing needs plowing. Okay, it doesn't need plowing. In this MaizePlus mod, you actually don't... you can actually subsoil your grassland with special equipment that comes with, and it doesn't destroy your grass, so you can aerate it and it still remains grass and it still grows afterwards. So yeah, that's amazing. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to say, just a disclaimer, because I have put it on start in spring, so I started with start in spring mod, because this map has realistic planting times for planting windows for Bavaria. We actually don't have any wheat, barley, canola, or corn, soybeans, or sorghum on the map. So we mainly have oats, sunflowers, potatoes, and sugar beet. I was kind of shocked when I was looking at the map, but yeah, as you can see, there's no wheat fields, there's no barley, there's no canola, there is some oat, corn, no, sunflowers, yes. So this first year we are going to have to just tough it through, and the rest is going to be cool. Okay, so what I do want to do is think this. Yeah, we are going to need straw, and we are going to need, or I want to have corn for the corn silage or maize silage. I think I'm gonna plant corn in here in field 1, but field 1 is at the moment at harvested stage, so yeah, I have to take care of this. We are first gonna start with the actual cultivating of the field. Okay, let me check. Do we have a... Okay, we have a power harrow that's attached to a seeder, so we don't really have a mulcher. So thinking of, I will go and what is something that's not too expensive but gives a lot of width. 16,000. This one also 16. Turner. Okay, let's go. I think I'm gonna lease this one. I'm not gonna buy it yet. And I need a front weight for this tractor, which I believe is parked. Or haven't seen a front weight. Yeah, so this starting episode, or these few starting episodes, might be a little bit awkward when I still find my bearings. But yeah. Also, I do want to take you on a trip to see the actual map, because this is a really fine, detailed map. And this was one of the first map I played when I installed FS22. And I had a lot of fun, and then my save game broke, so I lost everything. And at that time I didn't know about the what's it called, backup saves. It has a lot of unique traffic, like this tractor, cars, and this grassland over here is one of ours. And this is the shop. Before I continue, let me get one more weight. Weights are pretty cheap, so yeah, this one. Good. So, the challenge is, will I be able to sustain my animals, or will I fail miserably? This is now the question. And I hope I will succeed, but you never know. Because testing a global mod, a big mod like this, it's always a gamble, you know. And I hope it will be a good thing. I hope we'll learn a lot through this. And if anyone has any suggestions for me or anything like that, please let me know, because I am not ashamed of doing things wrong for starters, but I do want to learn, you know, so yeah. And I think I will be, I definitely will be discussing in detail about different aspects of this mod and how it actually works. So you will learn with me, and you will be able to interact and ask questions and everything you would basically desire to do. Okay, so this is the field. Let me see close the gate. Okay, so before we continue, I do want to show you this nice feature of a tractor with interactive control. You can open all the windows, and if you listen carefully, you can actually hear the sound go up when I open a window. That's such a good feature. You can put on throttle, you can put on lights, you can actually turn off the tractor. So yeah, this is a really neat thing that it's possible with this tractor. Okay, let's unfold this mulcher and let's go over this field so we can actually, yeah, it's working. So we can make a mulch state that's gonna be perfect for seed bed making. I don't want to go too fast. And the width is, yeah, just about there. And another difference is with this mod that the MaizePlus mod, that you actually have different states of grass dryness. So in the base game you have a wet grass. This is the grass you cut. You have tethered grass, which is immediately hay, and then that's basically it. Yeah, you have those two states of grass crop. But with the MaizePlus mod, you actually have, I think, 4 states. You have wet grass, you have conditioned grass, you have semi-dry grass, and you have hay. So it gives you a lot of range, and it actually simulates the actual behavior of grass in real life. Because of course, when you cut your grassland, you don't immediately have hay after one tedding. You know, that's not realistic. And in here you basically have the option to set your mower to the desired state of dryness of grass. So you can set it on wet grass, and I think you can set it on conditioned grass. So this is one step drier than the wet grass. And when you go ted your fields, you can set whichever state of the grass you want. So you can actually simulate, for example, if you cut your field, your grassland, and then it rains in between, you can actually set your tether to give you the same dryness after tedding, if you understand what I'm saying. So you can have multiple teddings if your grassland gets wet because of the rain, which I think it's a very neat feature, a very nice thing. On the other hand, if you want to play like the base game, you can also do that. So it's not tying your hands with that you have to ted multiple times, but if you want to, for realism's sake, you actually can. So I've decided that in this gameplay, this game, I am going to take account of how dry the grass is. So, for example, if it rained in the previous day of the month, the grass is going to be wet. Or when I cut it, it's gonna be completely wet. If I cut the grass after, let's say, 2 days of sun, it's going to be conditioned grass from the start. But that's gonna be one dryness settings up. And then, if the weather is sunny, if we don't have any, or if the temperatures are high, we can do it maybe in 2 teddings. But if we have rain in between, we can simulate that the grass is actually wetter and it needs to be tedded more times. So this is what I'm gonna do for testing the realism. If I can survive with my cows on this difficulty setting. Okay, this mulching is going pretty good. Mulching is recommended because I had the corn in before, and the stalks are really not good, and better if they are shredded. They give more back to the fertilizing stage. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a very interesting let's play. Oh yeah, and one thing, I have started with 16 cows, so 1 bull and 15 cows. I think I have that number. Let me see. Animals here. Yeah, so we have 1 bull and 15 cows because I don't want to give myself too much of a headache in the feed department. I still plan on succeeding with this, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it is recommended not to have too many cows, or maybe start with less and then add some if you see that you have capacity for this. But yeah, it's better to start small and actually have all your animals survive rather than failing, you know. And if you find yourself in dire straits that you can't really keep your animals alive, you can always sell some of your livestock and then replenish when your situation gets better, when you have more fields to produce silage and every ingredient you would actually need. Alright, so I'm gonna do this off screen and I'm gonna be back when this is all mulched. And then I think I will hit the fields straight up. Start with the grass. And I think the first thing we're gonna do is cut all of our fields, because we are in March, and we gonna use one for making grass silage, and we're gonna use 2 for making hay. So I think this is going to be the first plan of action to ensure our success. Okay, I'll be back when this is all mulched. I'm already returning from the store, and now let's go and put on the mowers and hit the first field. So this series is probably gonna have a lot of sped up videos, because I will have to do a lot of work, and yeah, it's basically not gonna be very interesting. At least I think not. Yeah, where do I put my weight? There is another mod I'm gonna be using. It's Courseplay. I am not very familiar with it, so this will also be a steep learning curve for me. But I think we're gonna manage. Okay, so for the roleplay's sake, just to show you what you can do with interactive control on the tractor. Get here, you can open your door, jump in, out, I mean, connect the mower, lift it up, leave the doors open because you can. And tractors like this, they stay open even if you go down a hill or something like that. Yeah. So put on this. Okay. Let's close the door. And we go. Ain't this fun? I believe it's fun. So these mowers are just able to get into this shed. Barely. Okay, and the first field is over here, right next to our farmyard. And this really shouldn't take too long because it's a small field, relatively small for a setup we have. Okay. And go. So this right here is wet grass. Okay. And if I put the conditioner, I can put it with Y key. I can turn it on and it's gonna be drier. But because we're in March and this is a spring month, it's wet. The weather is not very warm, so it's only 13 degrees Celsius. And this is why I'm gonna leave it on completely wet grass, and we're gonna have to tat it multiple times to get the desired dryness. And yeah, this is the first time I'm mowing in with running this mod, the MaizePlus. Yeah, I really hope we're gonna do something good with this. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun in this series. There's gonna be a lot of discovery, a lot of learning, a lot of mistakes probably inevitable. And we're gonna get to know all the machines involved in this. We're gonna get to know the different types of forage, you know, everything you would need to know as a farmer. And yeah, I think this really is gonna be a fun little adventure. So the main reasons for this Let's Play are that I am actually I have been very intimidated by this MaizePlus mod because it's so in-depth. It makes things a lot more difficult than the base game does. Oh, wrong button. I wanted to do this one. Clean it up while we're here. Yeah, it's a lot more difficult than the base game, and for added stress factor, I have enabled animals dying. So if at midnight we don't have any feed in our trough, the animals can die. So that's gonna be another stress factor, or how should I say, a motivator to keep our animals well fed. Alright, first field done. I have left a few tufts here and there, but no problem. Now I'll get to the second field. This is bigger than the first one. And look at all the ducks floating around. Sometimes there is a thing or a log going by. Sometimes there's a paper boat. So this really is a very, very, very detailed map. Yeah, I love it. I have spent many hours here, and I'm gonna spend many hours here again. So yeah, this is a nice little meadow we have hidden behind a forest. Okay. And again, I'm gonna speed up this video so we can all enjoy the episode in a decent amount of time. Okay, so this field is yielding quite a lot better than the previous one. Let me just fold up all the mowers. Yeah, we haven't even fertilized anything. This is just a raw cut, the first cut in the spring. And one thing I have forgotten is check the weather. Okay, we're gonna have nice weather all around. In August, September, October, there's gonna be rain. Okay, so I have to plan accordingly. Because in the previous, or in the base game, you don't really have to mind the rain and stuff like that, but now with this mod you really have to, at least if you're you have self-imposed rules for realism like I have. Okay, so if we say that we have 3 days month, that means that each day, quote unquote, is worth approximately 10 days in real life. So that means you would be able to produce hay from wet grass in 10 days. So in that regard, I could make hay in one game day, but again, self-imposed rules, I will take 2 days at least to make hay. So if the grass is totally wet, then it's gonna take 2 days, because I would do one mowing for the grass to be semi-dry, and one mowing for the grass, not mowing, oops, I missed turning. Alright, I can't go through here. That's another farm entrance. Have to go around. Yeah, so if the grass is totally wet, it needs to be tedded once for conditioned, tedded twice for semi-dry, and tedded 3 times to actually become hay. Yeah, so I can ted it once after the cut in the same day, and in the next day 2 times, so we actually have hay in 2 game days. This is the self-imposed rule that I will follow. Man, this is a bumpy road. Just to make it a little bit more interesting, to make it a little tougher on myself, and yeah, to experience the game as realistic as it can be. So our trip to the forest field is it's quite bumpy, I must say. Yeah, I have to be careful. I don't want to damage my tractor or implements or whatnot. Yeah, we are experiencing Bavarian countryside. Get to our fields, I need to take a left over here, go through a forest. And there you can see on the minimap it's already showing field 147, the meadow. Yeah, so I have chosen this field just to be a little bit diverse, so we don't have everything right at the farm and we have to go a little bit further, and really a tough road. Okay, so let me see, can I set up the da, da, da. Not interactive control. How do I set up courseplay? Okay, let me first unfold mowers. So how do I set up courseplay? Be right back. Okay, so I have managed to do the deed. If I press my right mouse button, this is, I think, the default configuration. It opens your courseplay menu, and when I press that, it shows all the tractor stuff. And where was it? It was... I pressed somewhere. Where did I press? Temporary course. Maybe. So it started, it gave me an option to generate course, and it did this. It's gonna start here, and it's gonna go around and stop over there. So yeah, let me go. Okay, let's play it. This is the first time I'm using this mod. Blocked by an object, okay. Well, let me dismiss the worker. Okay, it seems that the field boundary goes into the trees. Okay, so can we set up... any other field work? I'm not sure what's going on. It's gonna work now. Please excuse the mess. I am learning this at this exact time. Okay, so you're going a different way now. Let me see if it works better in this direction. Okay, all good. Of course, it's not gonna be perfect, but if it can manage to make a full loop and then come back, that would be grand. And you can also see the waypoints. Okay, that's cool. So let's see what it does at the end. Are there any trees we're gonna have to cut down? adequate access to our fields, and it looks like no. So I must have done something wrong at the start. And I do realize this would work a lot better if we would have that mower that actually goes on the back, where it's all in one piece, because the tractor can make all kind of sharp turns and it doesn't leave any grass behind. Like this. This is all gonna have to be cleaned up manually. But yeah, I think this is going pretty well. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so let's get another tractor up and running. I think I'm gonna use this one. And we're gonna hook up a tether. Yeah, scrape the wall just a little bit. So yeah, we are going to hook up a tether and we're gonna go TED. I can't remember what I said. I think it was 2 fields. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the hay on the field that is being mowed right now by Courseplay via my helper. And we're gonna have the rest for grass silage. So in order to make grass silage, you actually can't put the wet grass into a silage pit, which is realistic because it would get all moldy and it would rot away. You have to have it on at least conditioned, and you can't put hay into the silage pit. So these are the terms and conditions of silaging grass. You have to have or conditioned grass or semi-dry grass. What a fun little tractor. Deutz-Fahr. Besides the tractors, the whole farm is as German or Austrian equipped as possible. So I have Kuhn tethers, I have Krone. I think Krone may not be in Germany. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best to keep all the machines in kind of a same category from based on the country they were produced from. Deutz-Fahr. This is also very neatly equipped. You can see the light flashing when you have the beacons on. You have all the lights that are showing if you have blinkers on, if you have hazards on, everything. So this is a really nice detailed mod, but I don't think it has interactive control. No, it doesn't. That's okay. It's still a very nice mod, and it has a unique sound as far as I know, so yeah, it's a cool thing. Alright, the worker has finished. The mowers are all neatly folded up, but I still gonna need them to fix what was done. So yeah, these sharp corners are giving him a bit of a trouble. By him I mean the worker, maybe a she. But let's address him or her as helper on the farm. Farmhand, yeah. I think farmhand is neutral enough. Otherwise, I believe that the helper has done a neat job. Anything else to fix? No. Okay, so yeah. This was way better than I expected. There is one small field left at the vehicle shop, but I'm gonna do that next time, or maybe even off screen. But first I do want to show you the tether and the functions of the tether. Oh, there's a few pieces of grass over here, never mind. Okay, so the tether works like this. You can see we have the settings with the Z key. The current setting is the base game, which means we're gonna make hay straight out of any type of grass we have. So conditioned, this is the first drier stage after the wet grass that we have on the ground at the moment. And condition, you can also turn on conditioner on mowers, so you can skip the wet grass when mowing. And we're gonna put it into conditioned grass, and this is going to be the first drier stage from wet grass. So this is the stage, at least this stage of dryness is required for you to put grass into silage pit. But it's the second of 4 dry stages of grass, so yeah. I hope you can understand me well. But if we want to, I'm gonna turn it off so I don't mess anything up. We can turn it to tether stage semi-dry or tether stage hay. So base game, conditioned, semi-dry, hay. And we are doing conditioned because I do want to follow the realism as closely as I can. And we are just turning over the freshly mowed grass so it can start drying properly, so it's not in swath, so it's neatly distributed. I think this is gonna be quite good. Okay, let's go to a fast forward video. And with this, the field is tedded. We are at the condition stage. The grass is a little bit darker than it was before, but not too much of a difference, so you can still tell it's pretty wet. And yeah, this is the stage that can be done in the same day as the mowing is. So this is my self-imposed rule. not the MaizePlus. And in the next day I can do 2 more teddings to get it to hay stage. So what I do want to say at this time is that a lot of information I'm giving you and a lot of information that helped me actually understand this MaizePlus mod comes from a YouTube channel or a content creator, Disturbed Simulations. I'm gonna put a link in the description or on the screen. I'm not sure how I can do this yet, but yeah, go check him out. He really has an in-depth explanation for the MaizePlus, and it really helped me to tackle this this mod, because it's expensive and it's really how should I say it, complex to understand, but when you get a grasp of it, it really gives a lot to your gameplay. It elevates your experience. So yeah, I really do recommend that you go see his channel. And also the creators of MaizePlus, the Alien Paul and Modelleicher, I think it's pronounced like that. Yeah, they are the MVPs of this mod, because they created it, and they have, I believe they are part of a group called Farming Agency, which has that has a lot of real life farmers in that give their input and help make this these mods a reality. So with this, I would like to thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time, and we'll see you in the next episode when we continue working our grasslands. And bye bye.